of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
We'll continue on part 2 of this conversation, Your message was bringing up something how they're taking the world, when they go into A.H.A.D's words and books, the world of mankind, and then trying to implement that. And it's a great injustice to themselves, because one of the other parts of that sign I'll explain to it that how its essence being those words, that word is a lie. And it will eat those who come ahead out of order in this union, all those things that are opposing to it. So Allah, they say that the words of the Quran, for example, like it brings the thought, how they say they're preserving it, they upholding it. The Arabs of this day, say they uphold of this book. When I say they don't uphold this book, because if they mistranslating it, they're holding in the book at all.
It's only in. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's no man. And I think what Allah says in chapter 9 of that book said, how can they uphold a masjid on righteousness? They built one, and Allah built one through Muhammad and them, and they try to rival the messenger's house. But see, Allah ain't talking about the house that he built there. The masjid of the house, like Allah gave a component for you in the divine presentation, upholding A.H.A.D's house.
Look at the cathedrals, man.
How the beautiful. Man.
Taj Mahal. It's like people get mesmerized with the building. The Lord must be in here because look how great it is. Well, the Lord is in that little hut down the street too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But man, they get so messed up by what they bring into into the book, into the understanding. And they don't understand that when Allah said that only it can uphold the righteous, here again they thought that it was talking about the people of religion.
Right.
When it has clearly told them that it is the righteous. I mean, A.H.A.D, A.H.A.D is just endless.
Yes, it is.
There are certain mathematical equations in the Holy Quran that people can't see because they're not at that level yet.
Right.
You understand? But the Holy Quran is put together by mathematical equations. A.H.A.D showed me some things, and I looked at that and I said, boy, Prophet Muhammad was deep. Allah showed him that. But you know what I'm saying? But it was Allah's deed.
Yes, it is.
And it makes right what it wants to be right. But see, I'm so thankful that Allah didn't show me those things before it brought me to itself. Because I might have become one locked up in the mathematical equations and the sensation of the Holy Quran. When now it's just happening to me.
It was a brother, they assassinated Rashid Khalifa.
Yeah.
Brother was telling me because he gave the numbers, and then that became from the writings I've seen of him anyway, or they put out of him. It was all about now trying to decipher like they do now on the show they do on History Channel with the Jews, trying to decipher the numbers of the Torah and all these different. I'm like, okay, now you start taking people still away from the reality, and into the sensational thing or the gifts again, and not the gift again.
That's why it's so dangerous to tamper with the Holy's book.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous to tamper with the Holy's path of the way. It's so dangerous to tamper with people who seeking to be of the holy. It is very dangerous. This thing, I'm telling you, there are some people that Muslims, Christians, Jews, all the people love that went to hell. And they don't realize they went to hell. They think they went to heaven because they loved them and they brought some advantage to them in this world.
Right.
When if that was the truth, then, those who are the advantageous in this world, why is it that Allah never come to them?
Right.
It comes to the lowly.
Right.
And when it do come to a prince or a king, what do Allah do? It send them to the lowly. Buddha was a prince.
I was about to say that
Solomon was a prince. Might say was a prince.
Right.
Huh?
That's right. His story.
They went to the lowly.
Yes, the Dr. Gautama's story.
He was rich,
And he denounced
his riches.
And they see them as.
But that didn't make him poor.
Oh no.
Muhammad was poor, and he was rich. And just because he got with Khadijah,
right.
don't mean that that's what made him rich. She brought him something that he could use to help the cause.
Right.
His riches was in A.H.A.D, the rich.
I said, A.H.A.D sent these messengers lives as trials. It's
Yes.
part of education too, because
Yes.
A.H.A.D came from every corner of the world, every pre-existing condition that they're in, and show us how A.H.A.D raised them up through his divine education to the enlightenment, to the height of the pinnacle. How A.H.A.D send them back into the world as guides. You know, it being the true guide, and the sign of through them that it utilizes that light to people, so you can also attain. They call Jesus teacher, which most probably they teach, but they get caught into. Many people of religion get caught into what they called preaching, but his teaching was the essence.
He was a teacher, and
you know.
so was John.
Right.
You know, and John was more of a public preacher than Jesus.
Right.
Jesus was a private teacher. He had
Right.
12 disciples,
Right.
12 students. You know, that they try to make holy. You know, John had many students, and Jesus was baptized by him. So, in other words, Jesus was talked to by him. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like they don't want to deal with the reality of what is. You know, they want to make it what they want it to be. And that's the same problem we have today. And that's what the problem was with Rashid Khalifa. Khalifa. He went too far. He came into some things and he got it right. Like he said, Allah is to be worshipped alone. It's in here. You know, but you can't start thinking you mastering the holy book. Huh?
That same sign, the great mathematician Einstein. He gave him the theory of relativity they call pi. And after that,
he was gone. But look at Sigmund Freud with the id.
The id, right.
Stole that from Islam. It
right.
Knowing that the id is the L. You know what I'm saying? The essential being. You know, the reality, the real of the reality that manifests as instinctive nature in everything.
I hear something, man. Allah always refers back to, he was always talking about the noon. And reading different Qur'ans, I've seen one translation now that actually said noon first.
Yeah, I told you.
It's there, right.
I told you, and they've taken it out of the Holy Quran. They've just
by the pen.
They literally taken it out.
Yeah. And I said, whoa.
They literally taken it out. Just like some Bibles, old Bibles used to have Allah in it. They didn't get rid of those Bibles. Probably the Coptic Christians. They got rid of them Bibles. They didn't want nobody to see that they call Allah over in the East, and the Christians over in there, they don't want nobody to know that.
Right.
They curse the name Allah here, but if the Christian following would go over to the East where it originated, they'd be shocked. They'd be messed up.
And I was thinking about those missionaries that go to these other lands, and they come across these people that...
Oh yeah, they become the greatest devils because they go to be taught. Just like where Abdi Muhammad was sent over to the East to be taught, and he turned on his father and turned on the teachers because he seen too much. Malcolm went over there and seen Caucasian Muslims, what's going on? Elijah wasn't sent to them. He needed, with all his studying, he couldn't go a little further to understand the magnitude of Elijah and what Elijah's duty was. He came back and let them have him curse Elijah.
A lot of people don't realize, though, Elijah did make the pilgrimage, but he recognized what Allah called his job was, though. He been a pilgrimage on high. They have to record it.
Yeah.
And he came and said, wait a minute, but they're not out what Allah
I
me.
know.
Ready.
But see, the thing about it was, we know that, but when Malcolm went himself and seen, it had all this stuff in him
Right.
He's like, oh shucks. He
went
thought he
confusion.
had.
He went
There you
confusion
go.
on his eye.
You can show people too much at some time.
Yeah. He showed them
You
much.
know,
He was
so
confused.
who raised Malcolm up? The
did.
enemies of Allah raised him up and make him so great.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. That is true.
People back in the past made him public enemy #1.
And they disgraced him. They disgraced Elijah's son because when he died, it was just like a tree in the forest falling. Did you hear it?
It was. And it was no fans, but, you know, I didn't know he
It's
died.
like you
It was
didn't
the
hear
internet.
it. It's
Well,
like
on the
you didn't
news,
hear it.
right.
And then some of them came across and said he was really no good. He didn't teach his people nothing. These are Caucasians talking. He didn't teach his people nothing about true Islam. Because they know true Islam. They know the shysters and they know the truth. And they knew that Elijah was true. They knew
Oh, yeah.
Elijah was true.
That's
They
right.
knew that Elijah was the Elijah of
That's what
Malachi.
I'm
They
saying.
knew that. Why you think they gave him choke? Try to lock him up at the age of 45 years old for draft evasion? Come on. Just couldn't write a new law. If they could have, they'd have had all of us at 45. If they wanted to.
Don't be surprised now the way things go in this world. They issue.
They might write. They might write one. They might write one for.
They've done it, yeah.
They might write one for 60 so they can get me.
Wait a
But
minute.
they don't want me. They said that nigga was crazy when he was in here. Keep him out. We don't want him back up in here. Unless we gonna put him right on the front line.
You know, he don't see too much
Where the
before we
boy
put him in here, right?
Put him up there with a fake gun. Give him a plastic gun.
Yeah.
You know, send me out on the front line with a water gun.
Much of this education, though, Allah is talking to in this hour of the day, because the great sign of this being an hour of the day is them raising up women in society in this day and time.
Not only that, we get so many signs, so many signs of Allah. With all this natural catastrophe, like the young lady asked me about the wrath of the angels destroying these places. We got all around the planet Earth, even with the Earth being knocked off its axis, part of the prophecy.
Right.
We got the signs, and they don't want to acknowledge the signs. But the signs, see, the whole thing about A.H.A.D, they want to escape the planet. These people want to. They got labs up there in outer space, and they trying. But they trust me. If they telling you about the space, the instruments they sending into the other galaxies, but they ain't telling you about all of them. They tell you maybe one. They might have who knows 100 going even further, trying hard to find another planet that may sustain life like what is happening on Earth. And the universe is so big, is who knows if they will ever be able to find another one. Like, it's not to say that they don't exist, but they got to be under the same condition.
That's what
you know what I'm saying.
Like getting lightning in a bottle, so you got the same thing that we can reproduce it.
You know what the signs of times on Earth, even the subtle signs, something I've never heard. Correct me. Recently on the news the other day, I heard of a snow day in Florida. The children didn't go to school in Florida because of snow.
Well, that's part of the axis being turned off. But just think about this. What if they figure out that Earth is like the heart of the galaxies? And there's only one heart.
Well, you can't put your heart.
Hey man, everything just out there.
I know they allude to on these shows, man. They were talking about this dark space thing, and I know that.
Unfortunately, here they go tens of thousands of years later. In 1,000 years, 1,500 years later, they're gonna call the unseen of El, the hidden, dark space. They acknowledging, but you know why they acknowledging all this truth? Because I'm here.
Oh yeah.
They know what's in the divine book of recitation.
Oh yeah.
And they running through it, people. They running through it. I did it through the computer, so they have the whole book. Plus, more than half of it, about half of it, is in the Library of Congress. You know, and so they have this information, and they know they gotta try to stem the tide. They gotta stem the wrath of the angels that's coming with me. So they out here in every venue trying to express revelations. They're revealing so that when the true revealing comes to you, you'll be confused. You understand? So now they're going to try to act like they just discovered dark space. It's out there. It got to be out there because the universe is expanding. Man, go to Hermes Trismegistus. He said that everything expands and everything contracts.
That's right.
You know, Muhammad said Allah is the unseen essence of life, the Hu. Allah said, say to them that I am Hu and Allah, the one. Huh? So they know all that. Even though the Arabs falsely translate the Holy Quran, chapter 113, or was that 112?
112.
The unity.
The unity, 112.
They know the truth of the translation.
Sure enough, do.
You know? They tell them, you can't translate that like that. And if you want to sell books in the United States or London or wherever, you can't translate that like that. You got to translate it like this, that, and the other. Now, what happened to blue-eyed?
Oh, yeah.
I got left in the Saudi translation.
That's in the Arabic.
When I heard white-eyed,
wide-eyed,
blurred-eyed, when I read white-eyed,
oh, yeah.
now that one took me off more than anything. Because every white-eyed individual I've seen was a damn mummy. I'm not a mummy, but a goddamn living dead.
White-eyed zombie.
Huh? A zombie.
Yeah, they should know.
They talking about white eyes. You see somebody with all white eyes, you gonna be hauling butt. That's just like if you see a white man.
Real white.
Or a black man.
Not a pink man, but Caucasian.
Brown. You see a black man walking down the street, you go get scared because you go think there's a shadow. There's a shadow. You gonna be hauling butt. I don't care who you are. If you see a black man walking down the street in the daytime, because it gotta be the daytime, at night you ain't gonna see him. He be standing right in front of you, and you say, hey, what's up, brother? And you faint and have a heart attack, right? Especially if he open his eyes on you, and they be white eyes. You see a black man, you gonna be hauling butt. You see a white man, you gonna be hauling butt. You don't want to see that. Allah can make that. You don't want to see it. It's too unnatural.
That's something.
But here we are. They talking about they gonna take blue eye and turn it to white eye and wide eye and blurred eye and any kind of eye but the blue eye.
And explain it away in their commentaries and the book in the bottom of the chapter. They don't explain it, but it actually say blue, but they meant this.
Yeah, well, you got some that don't even say that now. They just write it now. You know, they didn't went from one to. But see, you wonder about them people living in situations where Allah did not give them the information, the education to build their homes properly, and then the earthquake come, boom, and the whole town fall.
Yeah.
Why Allah did that? Allah could have gave them the information, the technology that it gave the people over here. It could have did that. Even over here with our technology, you can't stand up to earthquakes and what have you that well.
No.
And we do some foolish things like build bridges with little thin metal on it and highways that's like bridges, and then the earth shaking. Look at California, the earth shaking, you know you going down, you riding on one of those.
I used to doing so many things out there in that region of the area that now they stop even reporting as much as they used to.
And
Mudslide is still going on, the fire is still going on.
Yes, it's just like the planes being thrown down out of the sky. The government, for national security, they can't tell you that there's aliens. They can't tell you that there's a Sasquatch. They can't tell you that the sign of the times of Revelations is here now. They can't tell you that. They can't give you nothing that's greater than themselves.
Right.
They can't tell you that. They can't tell you that the angels is real and that there's the unseen and that they are headed for the abyss. They can't tell you that. They want you to think that you should put hope in their power to save you. That's what they do. And then if you get messed up, they say, oh, that's collateral damage.
Yeah. It's like living in a society where they keep you in the worst conditions, and then they come over like they do every other people. I'm your savior.
Yeah.
But if you, like you said about the fishing before, the previous show, if you teach us how to fish, we have the same resources and talent that we can use too. But because you gotta have an underclass and always have that upper class, keep that disparity going. So again, educate this group,
Yeah,
and then educate this group.
We don't need that. The devil wants that.
Right.
In order for the devil to stay in the evil, wicked way that it is, it has to have that.
Oh yeah.
The divisions of people.
Yeah.
But one of the things about life, man, all things are divided up, individualized. Our whole universe, all the universes is individualized. You know, A.H.A.D told me a long time ago, before they started talking today about there's more than one universe. We realized there's, you know, A.H.A.D gave me a picture of something that said that, you know, when you think about it, where do darkness come from? Darkness comes from an object that's in front of a light.
Right.
Like shade. So it said, look at the universe. There's something greater outside the universe that's creating this shadow all over the universe where you see the stars and planets and what have you inside of it. It says there's many universes. Somebody said there was 18,000 universes a long time ago among the ancients.
Okay.
Right? But Allah said there's uncountable numbers for man to count about the universes. We use 18,000 as an astronomical figure.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
And then they say, and then it said that just like the model of the galactic solar systems.
Right.
It says the universes it has that same type of situation going on. Something going around something else.
Right.
You know? And we will never get to the end of it. And people say, well, we've come to the end of this universe or this galaxy, but that universe in there, you know. Well, we got to take their word for it, don't it? Because they ain't allowing us to buy or have telescopes that will let us really look up into, you know, to the galaxies. They leave that for special people, the jinn. They won't let us have it.
It's almost like Allah says through Herm, how level degrees. Now, this way, this one in this universe, I just another one begin, but because it's blocking is the reality or shades, they can only count.
They can only count as far as they can see. You know, I just gave me something else. It said it's endless in every direction, and I'm like, whoa. Said they don't have microscopes powerful enough to see its endlessness in this microscopic world.
They don't have one law to see to the macro.
There you go. You know, so you can put new identifications on things. But see, they know we said these things in our books. In the book that Allah said, now they want to talk about this essence that's in life all the time, going through your bodies, the astrophysicists, going through your body, but you don't recognize it. Yeah, right. Keep on going. But see, all they doing, because the people won't support us, myself, Allah and Gabriel, they have them people to be their teachers. They have to, because see, nothing matters, man, until the end. When you go before the Lord and you find out what your eternal resting place is going to be. If you could find some rest. Because there's only rest in peace.
Like A.H.A.D says, where are your teachers now? Where are your idols now? Where are your priests and your preachers, your rabbis now? The people that are the lead you, the scientists now. Where are you found? You know, they can't even envision that in their minds right now, knowing that they're alone, knowing that ultimately they're known, but we've been trained and tricked into ignoring, you know, by those people.
Well, you know, one thing that A.H.A.D does, man, you know, if you call on the devil, A.H.A.D give you the devil. See, when the devil make those promises to people when they come to the fork in the road in the spiritual path, and the people take the devil's offer and sign a contract with that devil, then Allah start giving them the power that the devil said that they would have. Start giving them the advantages that the devil said they would have. It's still Allah doing it. It's still A.H.A.D doing that.
Right.
You understand? So they get caught up thinking, oh, the devil is doing it. The devil ain't doing nothing. Just like I'm talking to you, I ain't doing nothing. A.H.A.D is doing this through me. My life, my death, my prayers, my sacrifices, they are for Allah. They must be for Allah. My being, my essence is all Allah's. It can shut me down right now. And I may want to say something and can't. And be looking into my brain or into myself. Oh, Allah, why you won't let me say that? Because I don't want you to say that. Just like the Charlton Heston joke I was about to tell. And let me tell it right till I got to the name and then snatched it back from me. And no, you ain't.
Right.
Even though we told it anyway, you know, it ain't no sense, you know.
Right.
But it wanted it to come out. So only things can happen by its will. Its power.
It's power.
Like people talk about, you know, being saved and they going to the White House and we finally got some power. You ain't got no power.
Right.
Power is independence. And A.H.A.D is the only independent thing. You know? You gotta keep that in mind, you know?
So clear, so denied.
You can't deny because you know yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing.
This message, this education here, is one that they fight against.
Yeah, they fight
But this
against
will open up a lot of people to more objectivity.
it. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
See,
their own, you know,
Go ahead.
start making their own assessment of things, because much of what they've been given on this tube here, this television that we,
In the school,
Utilize-
growing up.
it's all a part of the controlling factor, keeping people in control. Because they ever come out of the corral, break loose, we got to deal with them. And anyone that's free like yourself and the messages that come before you through the divine education, can no government, no power there be controlled or diffuse anything. And that's the danger.
I remember back in the 70s, before my enlightenment, I was working at the post office in Jersey City. And I was a very studious individual. I believed in A.H.A.D, Allah, in the name of Allah. I believed in Allah and Amen. And Christ, you know, not being Jesus, but
right.
what it is. And as far as what I understood. And there was this Jewish guy. He used to look for me every day when I came to work, man. And he would get appointed to work with me. And he would just come after me all day, you know? And because I was studious and Allah was with me in ways that I didn't even realize, I found myself teaching him his religion. And he couldn't deny the things that I was saying. And I wasn't going with the shalom and this and that and
Right.
whatever, speaking their language
Right.
and talking about their particulars.
Right.
I was talking about religion the way it's supposed to be, because the truth is the truth no matter what language you speak it, no matter what prophet that brought it, no matter what religious path you try to say you coming from. There's only one path. And for all those so-called paths of religion, there's only one. So when you speak from that one, you touch all of them.
That's right.
You touch the truth of all of them. So that's what I was speaking. You know what he told me? He said, I'm going to see you on the political scene one day. I said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. I know you're going to be a leader. I know you're going to be this, that, and that. I said, no, you're not going to see me like that. He said, I know you're going to be something. He was going to law school.
Okay.
And he said he knew he was going to see me out there. Well, I don't know what happened to law school, but some 10, 15 years after that, I heard that he still was asking about me. He still was caught up in the post office. People get caught up in things,
Yes.
you know. And he probably finished school and then didn't want to break that cycle of where he was at, you know. But I was true to myself. I just knew in my heart that I would never be on that political scene, you know. And like, I deal with my family, and they want to go out and help the world. Like we went to this Urban Peace Day thing and what have you, and I supported you all in this. And I said it took a piece of my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a civil rights leader.
Yeah.
I'm not a civil rights worker. You know, that's beneath what I am called to do. I'm Allah's messenger. So I caught hell out there. But we found some other enemies from the state and local government who said, hey, keep him away from City Hall. We don't want the people to know about this guy.
They were saying because you bring the real,
Because the real truth and the real education.
And we're gonna finish.
Sign of real
Yeah,
power.
praise A.H.A.D for this conversation. We hope you enjoyed Write to us, A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, North New Jersey 07103, or via the internet at thirdhouse@yahoo.com. Lord Holy Apostle, Brother
Yes,
Fat
brother,
Kid,
yes.
audience,
Bless
those
you,
watching,
bless
may
you,
the Lord
bless
continue to bless us all with this understanding and guide us aright. May the Lord bless you and have you.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?